Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm who specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your brand online. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com if your business could use any of those benefits today. Today, I'm joined by Lacey Locklear from Completely Kids. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Can you walk everybody through what Completely Kids is? Because it's kind of a all-encompassing brand, and you guys do a lot. Can you give us a little bit of the cliff notes of what you guys are doing and trying to accomplish with Completely Kids?
Yeah, absolutely. So Completely Kids' mission is to empower our kids and families to create safe, healthy, successful, and a connected community. And we really accomplish that through a holistic approach to our services.
When you talk about poverty and people that are struggling to make it, and it seems like it's getting harder and harder every single day, who are some of the families that maybe even more recently that you guys do work with, and what do those family situations look like?
So our families all come to us really starting in our schools that we serve. So we have a great partnership with Omaha Public Schools, and there we provide a safe place for after-school programming.
I grew up in South Omaha.
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about this. It was a little bit difficult for me to admit I needed help, or say there were struggles for food at home and things like that. When families come to you, what do those conversations sound like, and how often are families receiving help willingly versus maybe having been talked into it's okay to need help?
Yeah. So with our programs, we really start our relationship with building a safe and trusting relationship with our families. So starting in after school, we provide that incredibly safe place for our parents to simply be able to finish out their work day. And from there, we provide additional services to help support the whole family. So that can be our weekend food program. Our weekend food program is offered to every single child in our after-school program. So as you mentioned, there's not that fear of asking for that very vulnerable need.
Because it's just there.
It's there. It's there for them. There's no shame if you take one. If you pass that week, that's fantastic, and your family is good. If you need two, please take two. But outside of that, we have additional services that do require a little bit more of a relationship, and those are our adult education programs. A lot of times as we get to know our parents, we offer these incredible education programs, from earning their GED to taking English as a second language. And those are things that we just really get to know our parents and advertise that we offer to help them improve their situations.
What do you guys see? Because obviously, and I was talking to Jay Morales with the 50 Mile March yesterday, and we were talking about how we do fix things and we make people better and we build them up. Do you guys at Completely Kids, do you see, when you talk about furthering education, GEDs, helping adults get back to college, is it as simple as the education comes and the rest of it kind of falls into place? Is it as simple as that sometimes?
I wouldn't say so. Our parents that are in those programs work extremely hard to accomplish the things that they have. There's a story that comes to mind where one of our moms works the night shift, and she works, I think it's 7 p.m. till 10 a.m. And then she comes to a 10:30 a.m. ESL class to learn English as a second language, simply to improve maybe her position at work, maybe be able to apply for a different job. And that's not something that is just handed to her. She has to make those decisions, to put in the effort, to really do the homework. English as a second language is not something you just learn and you cannot practice and it will come to you. She goes home and she practices. She practices every week when she comes to class. She practices with her with other people in the class with her. So I'd say providing access to those educational components are great. We provide the instructors, we provide the space, but they are responsible, and they're the ones putting in all the effort to retain that information and then actually pushing themselves to take the GED test and earn that degree.
When we talk about OPS, does that mean as far as kindergarten all the way up into seniors? Are you seeing kids of that age still being involved in the program?
So in after school, we serve ages 4 through 14. So that really covers pre-kindergarten through middle school. But teens are someone we're really starting to provide additional programs for. So we have an incredible 2 aspects of a teen program. We have a simple teen program where kids who are freshmen and sophomores can come and be in a safe place. They can work on workshops with our staff members, talk about budgets, talk about safe dating habits, all those important, critical conversations that we need to be having with our young people. And then when they become juniors and seniors, we can actually employ them in our teen employment program.
Okay.
So these are all kids that were once completely kids and after school.
Where does that come from? When we talk about we need to kind of keep ours and help them grow and see them kind of to the proverbial finish line. I mean, you guys have got a large staff and you've got a lot of people helping out. But I think anybody that's ever worked with kids, it's kind of hard to meet one and then just let them go, right? Like you want to be able to kind of help them as far as you can. For you, is there something that passion derives from?
It's sustainable for us as a nonprofit. We're building our own pipeline,
Yeah.
but for more importantly, for our kids and family, our staff represent their own community. They look like their kids. They are able to speak to our kids in their native languages. And that's really important when you're dealing with services,
Sure.
Such as food support, mental health services, adult education. They don't want someone who they're not familiar with or not comfortable with saying, here are all the incredible services that can help you. They want someone from their community that they trust and know and really can believe that, it's in their best interest of what Completely Kids is providing for them.
When we talk about mental health, there's obviously a very wide range of what all that can be. What are some of the focuses for, somebody as young as you said, 4 years old? What do some of those conversations sound like and what are the benefits of it?
Yeah, so our mental health programs really look at each child individually and what their needs are. So we offer individual therapy with a licensed therapist, and it can be simple as self-regulation skills in the classroom. Maybe this child is having a lot of anxiety and keeps having to get pulled out of the classroom to go calm down. So working on skills that they can use in their own seat,
Yeah, absolutely.
self-regulate and stay in the classroom. Maybe it's trauma. Maybe they had someone pass away. Maybe they had someone that's no longer in the home. Working through that and how to self-cope. And then we offer group sessions. Maybe there's a group that's working on the same thing. It could be, secret kindness agents, talking about the importance of kindness amongst kids. It can be, again, a self-regulatory group that maybe this whole group is struggling with, and they're working together on learning those skills as a group.
It seems like everybody is talking about bullying to some degree. Is that something that gets talked about a lot at Completely Kids, and how are you guys helping with that situation?
Bullying is a topic that obviously comes up in any school setting and
Sure.
any after-school setting. One nice things that we've really done is the Secret Kindness Agents Club, where it's simply teaching children at a young age the importance of being kind. And maybe just leaving, it could be as simple as leaving a kind note on a bathroom stall. That maybe a child that was having a hard day that day that you didn't know was having a hard day read that and that uplifted them. Really just working on teaching our kids to be kind to one another, accepting one another, treating everyone with the same respect that you would want to be treated.
Because it is difficult for some people.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned the helping with the food program, and you guys do that even throughout the summer. What do numbers look like during the school versus the summer, and does it change a whole lot?
It does. So during the school year, as I mentioned, the food is packed with the intent of one per child. So we're right now packing, before we ended the school year, 920 bags every single week.
Wow.
For the kids in our program. Summer, we focus a little bit more on the whole family. So you'll see a whole family bag packed with some larger items that are made to be cooked for dinner for the entire family. And right now, I think we're packing about 350 of those. And those are actually distributed directly outside of our building. So again, we talk about, this kind of beacon of hope and place of safe and comfort in our community. And that's what Completely Kids is. We're a place where families feel comfortable driving up to and receiving that service.
It feels weird to ask this because everything is so important when we're talking about being able to eat, being able to have mental stability, learning the native language, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When we do the layman's terms and break it down to a pie chart, like in simple standards, how much of what Completely Kids is derived towards food versus the other services you guys offer? Because it kind of feels like it started, and correct me if I'm wrong, started off with food providing and then kind of evolved into all these other aspects. Am I correct in reading that?
So I think we always have really focused on the after school program and really that set. And then looking at, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a child can't learn if they're hungry.
That's a good point.
They cannot. You can try to redirect them. You can try to redirect behaviors, but until their basic needs of safety, food, all of that is met, you are not going to be able to get them to the next step. So that's when we really started incorporating this food program, ensuring that no child in our program is going hungry over the weekend. There are actually 62 hours between when our children have their last snack with us that we know that there's a guaranteed meal till their next guaranteed meal may be Monday morning at school. So that program really fills
My
that
heart just broke when you said that.
to ensure that they are being safe and fed and have that security over the weekend. And once we have those basic needs met, they feel safe, they're fed. We can really look at the next step, which is education, giving some of that mental health support, all those next steps. So
Being able to just go to school and worry about school.
being able to go to school. And then that's when those programs for parents came in. We've met their basic needs, but our parents are having to decide, do I spend my money on paying bills this month and paying rent, or do I get groceries?
Yeah.
And so by providing services like GED, ESL classes, they can improve their current placement at work, maybe earn more income and not have to make some of those decisions. So really focusing as we're talking to our families what those needs are and responding to those needs when we can.
We're catching up with Lacey Locklear from Completely Kids here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. You guys obviously can't do this by yourself. You've got a bunch of great donors and people make individual contributions as well. You have two great events coming up in the month of September. Can you tell us what those are and how people can get involved?
Absolutely. So we have our kind of what you would consider a fall gala, but it's not a gala. It is Pinot Pigs and Pours, and it is an incredible tasting event.
Sure.
I love this event because a lot of people have started steering away from fundraising events. I feel like because time is such a gift, and we've learned that, especially coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you don't always want to sit at a table of 10 of people you don't know. You don't want to sit
It's
through
tough.
a raise the paddle, silent auction. Maybe you want to bring somebody to something you're passionate about, but have that fear of them constantly being asked to give more and more and more. Your ticket is your donation to us at this event.
Wow.
You pay your ticket, you come. We have 13 incredible chefs from Nebraska all competing in a People's Choice. They will prepare a small pork bite dish, and then we have about 50 different things for you to taste. 40 of them will be about different Pinot Noir wines. And then we have bourbons for maybe someone who wants something a little bit more of a bite.
They've had a rough Friday.
A little rough. It's actually on a Thursday,
Okay.
but getting into Friday.
Sure.
And then we're actually incorporating something newer this year, really looking at trends, keeping things current. We are going to be having some tequila. So again, it'll be a tasting event. You can try all of these things on a Thursday night, September 19th. And like I said, your ticket is your donation to the agency.
Where's the event at?
It's at Champions Run.
Okay. And the other event in September is?
Yeah, it is our For the Kids Golf Scramble.
Yeah.
So this one is really, really fun for anyone wanting to get out there, be active, be maybe with a couple team members, a couple coworkers, a couple friends, and still give back to your community. It's on September 30th at Field Club of Omaha.
You guys have a really great board with people that are always pushing Completely Kids for all the right reasons. Who are some of the people behind the scenes that maybe deserve a little bit of credit for making this thing run on a daily basis?
Yeah, so our board all have different sub areas they work on. We've got an incredible group that focuses on marketing. We have an incredible group that focuses on where we should currently be looking at policies. But one that I get to closely work with is our fundraising committee. And this committee is made up of Carly Jurgensen Daniel, who was a former guild president, our current guild president, Abby Tipton, Cheney Holmes, who I know you know, who has
You didn't need to mention him.
right,
That's right.
but has graciously taken on that, really helping us spearhead some of our additional fundraising events. And last year, he was our chair of our golf tournament and really made it possible. And those are our board members. And then we have two current people from the community that are helping move forward this golf tournament as well. It is Cassie Langstaff and Alex Hook.
If somebody would like to get involved with Completely Kids, maybe from a donation standpoint or maybe just volunteer, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, we have some incredible ways. So first, there's kind of two different avenues. If you're looking, we have an incredible guild. This is a group of 22 women that really are a second arm of the agency. They put on Pinot Pigs and Pours. They make sure it's an event that people want to come to, and they continuously spread the word of Completely Kids. Now, if someone is maybe looking for, I've always wanted to join a board. I've always wanted to be a part of that. In order to join our board, we do ask people to serve on one of our subcommittees, and we have lots of them. As I mentioned, we have a marketing subcommittee. We have a fundraising subcommittee. These are great ways to get introduced to the work that Completely Kids does. Maybe put your kind of little spin on some of the initiatives that we have. And then those roles, as we need to fill board seats, are the ones that we really look to, saying, you've been breathing the Completely Kids mission. You've been working towards helping us meet our goals. We would like to, have you join our board.
You mentioned it a little bit a minute ago, but some people don't want to go to silent auctions. There's certain things that people struggle with socially, or maybe don't want to do. Is there a hurdle that Completely Kids is facing right now that just by somebody giving their time or maybe a monetary donation that can be fixed? Like, what are some of the biggest struggles for the organization right now?
So right now there's a couple. I mean, as I mentioned, the gift of time is such an incredible gift. People are so busy. There are so many incredible things that they're doing. So for them to break away and come to one of our events is so impactful for us, because not only are they supporting us financially, they're also maybe bringing a friend to spread the word.
Sure.
The transition of wealth. A lot of our families here, are in that transition period of family foundation. So really building some great relationships in the community of people who are passionate about what we do, want to continue giving back to kids and families. Those are the people that we want introductions to, that we want to meet, so we can continue to grow our network of people who rally behind our kids and families and can continue to provide that financial support, so we can continue to grow our programs. The need is ever growing, and we need that financial support.
You've been working with in the realm of helping kids for over a decade now. Where does your passion for helping youth come from?
So mine personally, I actually am from Lincoln, and I used to run a detention alternative program. I studied criminal justice and wanted to work with juveniles on probation. And it was incredible work. It was tiring work. But the one thing that I saw is those services were not there soon enough. It wasn't until this 16, 17-year-old was in trouble that he finally got the supports that they needed. They got an attorney, a tracker, a social worker, all these things that could have been so beneficial early on. My favorite kid, I had put a monitor on 7 times in 3 years. We got to him too late.
Yeah.
And I just thought about, what could his life have been like
The spoke was already on the wheel.
Positive adult relationship outside of his incredible family, but someone who also invested in him early on. And so I started looking for an organization that did that work, and that's exactly what Completely Kids spends their time doing.
If when we talked about the things that are the struggles right now and the things you guys need, we're talking about the future and what's bright. What are some of the things that are coming up or maybe being implemented at Completely Kids that you're excited about?
Yeah. So we continue needing to grow our mental health programs. And these are programs that we're constantly looking for people to invest in, for people to get behind and say, that's something that I want to stand behind. We continuously need more financial support for our weekend food program. Food is not something that you ever want to provide and have to take back. You never want to reduce the amount of bags you can provide. You never want to reduce the amount of food provided in it. But as we've all seen at the grocery stores, things are getting more expensive. What one program used to cost $6,000 to $7,000 a week now costs $10,000. So we as an organization are looking for ways to improve the funding of that program, looking for more people to support that program, and also maybe looking for people that want to partner and help out in that areas.
If we're talking about 5-10 years down the road, what does expansion and growth look like for Completely Kids?
I think it's really looking at our current programs and being able to provide it for more kids and families. Our adult education programs are incredible. They're incredibly successful with the ones that are maybe the sites that are a little bit closer to our home base, really reaching out to all 16 locations that we have and providing that service and giving that access to those parents as well. Bridging that gap between maybe a location of a school and our current site, really making where Completely Kids is on 24th and St. Mary's a place that people want to come to and access those services, but also realizing that their children may go to Gifford Park.
Sure.
And that's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
So really figuring out how to expand those critical and important adult education programs to all of our parents.
We're catching up with Lacey Locklear from Completely Kids here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. I want to mention the location because you mentioned you guys are down on 24th and St. Mary's, just one block north of Leavenworth, and you guys have been there really from the beginning. How important is it for Completely Kids to be that centrally located, kind of right in the heart of where the areas you guys serve?
It's vital. It really allows a limited barrier for parents and kids to access our services.
Sure.
When you're in a place that they aren't, if you're out in West Omaha, that's not where they are. That's not where the services are, and that's not their community. And by being down there, we get to see firsthand the needs of our community. We get to see these kids. We're right in the heart of those schools that we serve.
And you guys are right around the corner from a church. Obviously, you're within walking distance of the Children's Museum. So there's obviously a really big influx of family and family purpose around that. But we've seen kind of a little bit of an uptick in that neighborhood and some money being invested. The Indian projects have recently been renovated. The Twin Towers on Park Ave has just had money dumped into it. Are you guys seeing? We just had Mike Martinez from Leavenworth Coffee in here the other day, and he talked about it. Are you guys seeing kind of an uptick in that neighborhood as well? And is that affecting Completely Kids in any way?
So I would say yes, we have seen some transitional changes in some of our schools that we serve. You kind of mentioned the towers going up over there.
Yeah.
And I think Jackson Elementary is a school that's seeing that. They offer some dual language.
That's the one right there on the corner of Leavenworth, right? Okay.
Yep. And some people are accessing those because they want their children to have the experience of learning a second language. But what you see then sometimes is families who may not financially need Completely Kids, but at the same time, they're a two-household working home that need that safe place for their kids to go after school. Myself, my daughter is going to be in an after-school program because we are a dual income working household. And so what those families do then is they really appreciate the time that we give them and a safe place for their children to expand their school day. And so what they're doing is they're giving back in either time, talent, or financial, whatever they can give back. We have an incredible one that's a couple of his children attend Jackson, and then he donates his time to give some expertise to our Pinot Pigs and Pours event because that's where he can give back and invest into Completely Kids.
You've mentioned it a few times. You're a wife, you're a mother, you help run a nonprofit, you're on a board. How do you personally find time to be innovative and come up with ideas, raise funds, be a part of board meetings, be a mom, be at home? How do you find time to do all that?
I mean, it's having a supportive home, having a supportive grandparents that come in to take care of my children, a supportive husband, but also having a workplace that understands what it's like to be a mom. At Completely Kids, our C-suite is made up of moms. They get it. We understand each other. We're there to support each other when the need. And as an agency that supports family well-being and the importance of family, we honor that in our staff as well.
Be a little hypocritical if you didn't.
Right? And so just knowing when someone needs a leg up or a handout, and just really supporting each other and knowing that the same things that we want for our kids, we also want for the kids at Completely Kids. So that kind of desire there is really what continues to push all of us moving forward. We have incredible people on our team. Ann Lawless has been at Completely Kids, I think, for over 25 years. If I got that wrong, Ann, I apologize.
Was it always called Completely Kids?
It used to be Campfire.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
I've been trying this whole time. I've been trying to figure out what it used to be. Okay.
Carla, I think, is over, around 24 years, who's our current CEO.
She got the award for tenure at the banquet. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And just, they are Completely Kids. They've been there since they were teens. They've watched it grow. They've experienced the road bumps. They've seen the growth. They've seen the need. And we are invested in making sure that we provide that equal access to our kids and families.
I have a little bit of a shameless plug that I need to throw out there for anybody that doesn't know. We are located inside Going Vertical out here off of Sapp Brothers Drive. We have an event coming up in August 10th and 11th called the Battle for Omaha. If you're a business owner and maybe you're not really into golfing or want to just do something different, we're treating it as a networking event. You can come out and your business will be represented. There's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament as well as a networking event that we will host. All the proceeds are going to go to Completely Kids, and we're very excited about that. The QR code is up on your screen right now. If you'd like to register a team or just make a donation, you can do all of that. And again, those events are on August 10th and 11th. We're really excited about that. The numbers are every single day. So we're really looking forward to that event out here as well. Is there anything about Completely Kids that we haven't touched on that you think people should know about your guys' organization?
I think the only thing I'd really like people to take away is there are so many incredible nonprofits in Omaha that do incredible work. But what I'm most proud of that Completely Kids does is we really look at the entire family through that after school program, providing mental health, providing weekend food, teen employment opportunities, and education programs for our parents. We don't just focus on one area, but really what is going to improve that whole family and move that needle to helping them break that cycle of poverty.
I'm going to make you focus on one area. What's your favorite part about your job?
My specific job?
Yep.
My favorite part is I love providing experiences for people and being able to tell the incredible stories of our kids and families. I don't work directly with our kids and families. I get to hear about these incredible stories of success. And that's what I love to focus on, the success of our families. A lot of times people can focus on kind of the more pulling on the heartstrings, getting people to move. But what I'm passionate about is seeing when our programs made a difference in a family and they are that much better, rather than focusing on the hard times for them, focusing on what was being able to put in place for them, where they are now. And that was only capable because of Completely Kids, really focusing on that success of our families.
Is that hard to do? Because I think a lot of times when somebody when somebody walks in and they have ailments or they have issues, is it hard to, and maybe it's different for everybody, for you personally to kind of like look at them and try to look for the solution rather than how to put a Band-Aid on the problem?
I wouldn't say so, because that's just our model of working with our kids and families. Our families are already the most
It's just so
hardworking
long-term
people.
based. Yeah. Okay.
And it's so much more rewarding for me to see the services, and rather than responding, but giving them the knowledge and the skills so that it's not temporary. What they've put in place is going to benefit them for the future once they're done with Completely Kids and once they move on. We have kids that are so proud to be a part of Completely Kids that they come back.
Yeah, that's important.
We actually had a young man that just came and visited Anne. He was one of her students at Jackson Elementary. He is now a father. He is working at an incredible company here in Omaha, and he comes back to visit just to let Anne know how incredible he's doing.
This may be difficult for you to answer because I don't know what your observations outside of the city of Omaha are, but how much different is Omaha when we're talking about implementing after-school programs and being helpful for families compared to maybe Des Moines or a larger city like Dallas or LA? Is there anything that's comparable to this, or is some of those cities too big that it's so hard to understand how to treat everybody when you're talking about 2-3 million people?
Yeah. I honestly don't have a lot of knowledge around what is kind of done in some of those bigger cities.
Sure.
What I can tell you about Omaha is incredibly philanthropic. And there are people, we saw it during the pandemic, people would call and just say, "What do you need?
That's incredible.
What do you need?" And we would say, "I need X number of dollars to keep weekend food going. I'm sending a check in the mail." And it was just, they respond to need so well. And I love that about this community.
Was there anything during the pandemic that Completely Kids did or had to pivot to that you still use today that's just kind of benefited as a whole?
Yeah, our mobile distribution is an incredible example of that. We had never done mobile distribution before, which is providing food during long breaks. Because when the pandemic hit, the kids weren't in school anymore. We had no way to get them food. So I think within a week or two, we had people that were down there. We had volunteers that came down, masked, gloved, because we didn't know what this thing was, and made sure that food was packed for those families. And we even had a few dedicated volunteers that if there was transportation barriers, they delivered it to the families who needed it the most. And so we've kept that model of mobile distribution and continued to provide that during those long breaks.
That's Lacey Locklear with Completely Kids. The website is scrolling across the bottom of your screen now, completelykids.org. If you can donate time, money, or maybe you're a family in need, there's more information at the website. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. We're really excited about the things coming up in September and obviously the event we're doing out here in August. If you can and have a way to make a donation, please do, because as Lacey just explained to you, they're doing wonderful things in communities in need and can use your help today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back tomorrow at 11, catching up with Malia and Sean Gomez about the real estate industry and how they're making a difference in the community tomorrow at 11 as well. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Thank you.